How do you give 15 years of your life to a company, and they fire you over coffee? No warning, no meeting, no explanation. Just a white envelope, a forced smile, and the words, "It's over. You're being let go." That was my Tuesday morning. My name's David Brooks. For over a decade, I ran the operations floor at Racks and Freight, one of those companies nobody knows by name, but everything you buy has probably touched our warehouses. I built systems, led teams, sacrificed holidays, missed my daughter's graduation, all for that place. And they fired me in under 3 minutes. Not for cause, not for budget, just restructuring. I didn't argue. I didn't beg. I just nodded, shook Karen's hand. She's the new VP who always smiled with her teeth, but never with her eyes, and said, "Thanks." Then I packed up my desk, waved once to the team, and left. But here's the thing they didn't know. The moment I walked out those glass doors, I wasn't broken. I was free. And just 3 hours later, my phone rang. A name popped up I hadn't seen in years. And what they said on that call, that's when everything started to change. Ever wonder what it feels like to be erased? Not fired, not reassigned. Erased, like your years of work never mattered. Like your name was never even on the door? That was me. 15 years. First one in, last one out. I knew the building better than the blueprints did. I built the inventory algorithm they still use. Trained half the staff. Stayed late, worked weekends, gave everything. But that morning, I walked into conference room B thinking we were finalizing Q4 logistics. Karen was already seated. HR2. 2 coffees on the table. 1 empty chair. No small talk. Just a folder. A line of legal jargon. And 1 sentence. Your role has been dissolved.
No restructurement.
No warning. Just a quick, sanitized burial. I looked at Karen. She blinked twice and tilted her head, like I was a guest overstaying my welcome. So I stood up, smiled. "You'll have 30 minutes to clear your workspace," the HR rep said, already pulling out an exit packet. No one said goodbye. I walked past the bullpen, the same team I trained from scratch. Not a single I met mine. It was like I was already gone. But here's what they didn't realize. While I was walking out with my box, someone else, someone they forgot I knew, was dialing my number. And that call, it was about to blow their quiet little exit plan to pieces. Have you ever had someone call you at the exact moment your world's crumbling, only to hand you a match and say, "Want to light it all up?" That was Marcus. I hadn't heard his voice in 6 years. He used to be a high-ranking exec at Moxley Global, big shipping contracts, multimillion-dollar accounts. We worked together on a disaster shipment back in 2017. Their whole East Coast pipeline was about to collapse. I stayed up 3 nights straight rerouting their logistics manually. Saved them millions. I never asked for anything in return. Apparently, he remembered. His name flashed across my screen right as I dropped my box in the trunk. I stared at it. That surreal feeling, like the universe was pulling a string behind your back. I picked up. "Hey, David," he said. "I just saw the news." "The news?" "LinkedIn. Someone at your company posted a 'We're moving in a new direction' update." Karen. Of course. She'd already spun it. Then came the twist. "You free for a call? I've got something I think you'll want to hear. And it pays well." Let's just say they were underestimating you long before they fired you. I laughed. First time I'd laughed all day. "Sure," I said.
I'm listening.
But I wasn't ready for what he'd offer next. Because Marcus didn't just want to help me bounce back. He wanted me to build something bigger, and he was ready to fund it. You ever sit on something for years, not out of revenge, but because you knew one day someone would regret underestimating you? I had receipts. Not emails or gossip. I'm talking real infrastructure. I'd spent the last 5 years at Raxon building a custom back-end logistics system. My system. My code. My licensing. Thing is, no one asked what tools I used to build it. No one cared. They just assumed it all belonged to the company. Classic mistake. So when Marcus pitched me the idea, a short-term consulting contract with his new firm, full freedom, double my pay, and a budget to expand, I didn't hesitate. I said yes. But before I stepped into that next chapter, I wanted to tie off one loose end. I opened my personal archive. Years of system diagrams, integration protocols, patch notes, all the things Karen never read. Then I drafted a short email to Raxon's IT department and CC'd legal. Please note, the core routing infrastructure utilized in your current system was built under a personal developer license. Any continued use without proper transfer could result in breach. Polite, precise, lethal. I hit send. By morning, I had 4 missed calls from Raxon, 1 from Karen, and a 5th from someone I didn't expect to hear from at all. What if I told you the best revenge isn't loud? It's quiet, graceful, and undeniable. That 5th call? It was from Emma, the board chair at Raxon. She was never part of the day-to-day, but she knew who built the bones of the company. She asked if we could chat briefly about a smooth transfer of the systems I had flagged. Translation: Karen was in trouble, but I didn't want trouble. I wanted peace, so I declined the meeting, politely. Unfortunately, I've accepted a new opportunity and will be unavailable for consultation moving forward. Wishing you a smooth transition. I left it there. Meanwhile, Marcus and I got to work. I wasn't just consulting anymore. I was leading, designing a new logistics framework for 3 international partners under his new firm, Horizon Core. My old systems? Outdated. This time, I was building something 10 times better. And here's the part that still makes me pause. 6 months later, Raxon's client load dropped by 40%. I saw it on a quarterly report. Karen had been quietly removed from the executive roster. Did I feel sorry? Not really. But I didn't gloat either. Because nothing says, I'm fine like thriving while they're scrambling. And just when I thought the story had closed, one more unexpected message came in. A message that brought it all full circle and forced me to ask a question I never thought I'd consider again. What would you do if the same company that kicked you out asked you to come back? Because that message, it wasn't just any message. It was from someone new, the interim CEO at Raxon. Apparently, after Karen's departure and multiple client losses, they were looking to reconnect with foundational talent to help rebuild trust. Foundational talent. Funny how the language shifts when the power does, right? He invited me to coffee, said there'd be no pressure, just a casual conversation about how we might work together again. I never responded, not out of spite. I just didn't need the validation anymore. You see, that day I got fired, it felt like a gut punch. But looking back, it wasn't a breakdown. It was a breakout. The moment Karen said, "You're done," I smiled. Because I already knew something she didn't. I wasn't done. I was just getting started. To anyone watching this who's been let go, pushed aside, replaced, or underestimated, listen carefully. You're not broken. You're becoming. You're not disposable. You're just dangerous in the wrong room. So hold your head up. Because the phone call that changes everything, it might be closer than you think.